Good morning. When you join, announce where you're from. We'll be getting started here shortly.
Jim Meadows, Denver, Colorado.
Welcome, Jim.
Kathy Jewell, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Kathy.
Sabrina, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Sabrina.
Dr. Russ, Detroit, Michigan.
Welcome from Detroit.
Leroy, St. Louis.
Welcome, Leroy from St. Louis.
Tim Lovett from Portland, Maine. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, welcome.
Kyrie John of Brooklyn, New York.
Welcome, Kyrie.
Thank you, sir.
Francisco Garcia from Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome, Francisco from Georgia.
What's up? This is Brad from Illinois.
Welcome, Brad.
Good morning, all. John Franco, Northern California.
Jonathan, welcome.
Paul Ha from Torrance, California.
Welcome, Paul.
Hello, JC. Alejandro Amigón from Puerto Rico.
Welcome from Puerto Rico.
Morning, everybody. Good morning.
What's your costume for me?
What's up, everyone? This is Calvin from NorCal.
Welcome, Calvin.
Hi. Hello, everyone. This is Barbie through an interpreter. I just wanted to say hello and good morning to everyone. Hi.
Welcome, Barbie. Once you join, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Jessica from Colorado.
Welcome from Colorado.
Andy from Houston.
Welcome from Houston.
Morning, Chris.
Gabby Toga, Orlando, Florida.
Welcome, Gabby and Roberto. Roberto's slinging that water in Rancho.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, I can't get over that Sprite test with that water. I don't think I'll ever touch soda again.
Hi guys, Jessica from Downey.
Welcome, Jessica.
Hello.
But beer is good for you.
I
don't drink that.
Good morning, everybody. Mark Stewart, Los Angeles, California.
Welcome, Mark.
Good morning. This is Fabian Tenorio from Chicago, Illinois.
Welcome, Fabian.
Good morning. This is Edgar Gonzalez from Riverside, California.
Edgar, good morning and welcome from Riverside. If you have any team members, get those last minute texts in. They should be joining this training. Couple
Brenda
more
Nova,
minutes.
Colorado.
Welcome, Brenda. Want to have the build hers.
This is Dale Boudreaux from Louisiana.
Welcome, Dale.
All right. Chris McHenry, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing, well, actually, hold on. I'm building.
That's right. There you go. I almost got you, man. Let me go ahead and put a message in the chat that we are live. We are live. All right. How you feeling after the mentor factory, my friend?
It's not something I can even express. You had to be there.
Right.
You had to be there. If you missed out, you missed out. I'm already thinking of ways to triple myself quadruple myself. And there's so much, we got so much knowledge from you and the other leaders. It was an amazing time. I walked out wanting to sign up 4 more times.
That's what it'll do to you, man. That's what it'll do to you. That, you know, because we do trainings on Mondays, right? And, you know, we squeeze some trainings in here and there as well, but nothing like getting immersed with over the weekend by the people that are making the most money in the company, right? By proven people. So it was, the good news is, and we're just going to start off with this meeting, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Today's meeting is going to be a shorter meeting because today's meeting is more of a, training today is more of a build up to the Millionaire Mentors Zoom tonight. Okay. So the Millionaire Mentor Zoom tonight is going to be a recap. A lot of people that did not make it to the event. We had a lot of people at the event, but of course, not everybody made it, which a lot of people are already telling me that they regret not making it to the event, which is understandable, right? But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a couple of people's testimonials because this is training, right? So a way to get trained is also to learn from other people's experience. What other people learned. So feel free to raise your hand, right? Virtually raise your hand here on Zoom, right? If you want to share what is 1 or 2 things that you learned at Mentor Factory. But before you guys do that, know this. This evening, we're going to have the Leadership Council, Mr. Navarro, and myself, right, on the Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. It's going to be one with all of us. So it's going to be also a corporate update call because 3 major things got announced at at Mentor Factory. 3 very important things got announced that you're going to be very excited about. So make sure that you are on tonight's Millionaire Mentor Zoom and get all of your people on there. So another thing that we're going to announce, that I'll just announce now, I know some of you guys are messaging me, hey, was it recorded? I couldn't make it. There's some people that literally, physically could not make it. Those people that said, listen, if it wasn't for this medical condition that doesn't let me fly, I cannot fly right now, I would have absolutely been there, but I literally cannot make it there. It is not about the money or an excuse. I just can't physically be there. And they asked me, was it recorded? Can we get a recording? So here's the answer. And Juan is on here. He doesn't even know this. Juan, our COO, is going to be making a link in the back office for you to go ahead and purchase a Mentor Factory. It's going to be $99 for the version that it's, by the way, every single training from the Mentor Factory will be there. And it will be a certification type course in our back office. So guess what? We're going to put it up there first. Eventually, because we're going to first put it up there, right? And it might take about a week to get there, but we're first going to put it up because it's going to get edited. Every single speaker is going to be there, and you're going to see their slides come up on the screen so you read what's happening, okay? Those of you that attended, that bought your ticket and attended the event, you guys are going to get that training automatically for free. So imagine reliving the Mentor Factory, right? Because I see Arlene there clapping. Because here's the thing, as we mention all the time, ladies and gentlemen, training isn't something you did, it's something you do. You should always be training. Look, I'll give you my personal testimonial. If it wasn't for all of the trainings that I've attended over the years, they start to shape you ever so slightly every day. Ever so slightly, you start to change, you start to grow, you start to grow. Before you know, you look back a year from now, you look back 2 years from now, and the growth that you've had, your self-confidence, your skills, your ability to handle objections. Trust me when I tell you it makes a difference, but most people will not give it the necessary time and consistency of training and development that it needs to become successful. So anyways, Mentor Factory, we will have, you're going to be able to pre-buy the recorded version of the Mentor Factory. Remember, it'll take about a week, maybe a week and a half, okay, to be up. So you got to be patient. We don't want people to say, hey, I bought it. Where is it? It's getting edited. And there's a lot of stuff to be edited on that Mentor Factory, right? So those of you guys that didn't attend, you'll be able to buy it for $99. Those of you that did attend, you're going to have it for free. It'll be available in your virtual certification course. And eventually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create questions for the videos as well. so you could take the test and have your mentor factory certification. Because let's face it, sometimes we're on the training and we're dozing off or we're thinking about something else and we really catch the information. So if you're going through the training like that, guess what happens? Oh, I want to go to the next training. You got to pass the little quiz. Oh, I didn't pass a quiz. You can't go to the next training. You got to pass it, right? So you're going to have the option to have that as well, which we want to make sure that people learn. And remember, some of you guys don't know, and I mentioned this, and this is one of the only things I'll mention as far as what was introduced at Mentor Factory. The vision for the Smart Money Club is now bigger than ever. Where you're going to start seeing, we're going to announce this tonight on the Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. Okay, you're going to start seeing some things, right? Here's some things that you're going to start seeing. You're going to start seeing some people that some of the trainers, the certified trainers, for they're going to start setting up some meetings where the community, the builders that have the membership can get on and start learning these financial strategies, how to retire, tax-free, how to build wealth, how to hide your assets, how to build assets, right? All of that stuff is, because Smart Money Club is live. So that'll be an announcement for tonight. But the evolution of the Smart Money Club is more than just personal finances and business finances. Guess what the Smart Money Club is going to become? It's going to become an entrepreneur university. It's going to become the Netflix of personal development and professional development. That's what the Smart Money Club is going to be. We've got something, oh my goodness, and I'm so excited, called Build Her. You guys will hear about that tonight. So here's what I would recommend before we go through some people's testimonials. I recommend that you put it on your calendar for tonight. Do not ever miss a Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. This is by far the most important Millionaire Mentorship Zoom that we've ever had. Whatever you've got going on, cancel it. Make it there. And get your people there. Those of you guys that are building a team, call them, edify the heck out of the Millionaire Mentor Zoom tonight. Get them there. Always the recap of a big event is extremely important. I guarantee you, you guys want to be on there because of the announcements. There's a new app that the company has developed. We're going to break down what that app does and why it's so disruptive to the industry. This is our app. We're not white labeling anything. We are creating it from scratch. So some very exciting things are happening. So with that being said, enough of that. I've got some people that raise their hands, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you to unmute. So you can go ahead and let's go with Jonathan Franco. I want you guys to share with me one or two things that you got from Mentor Factory that you're going to go and apply.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm still pumped about the event. Just driving back 7-8 hours back home and just recapping everything. Man, it was amazing. But my two big takeaways is overcoming objections with posture, where we were practicing. That was huge for me. And then also the team building. So, man, like Chris McHenry said, it's just a lot, right? Like I can't express it. But definitely excited that I attended the event. Yeah, that's
I'm excited
my
that you
takeaway,
did as well, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience, and I'm glad that you got that. The system for overcoming objections, I think, was a big one for a lot of people, right? Like, I'm sure glad you said that, and the feel felt found, and the posture. Again, we can't train on it all, right? There's only so much we could train on a 1-hour segment, but when you're immersed for 8 hours, right? By the way, there's a glitch in the system on the pricing for the convention. I recommend you guys take advantage of it. I think over 120 tickets were sold already for the convention in Las Vegas. Go into the WhatsApp group and get that link and get your tickets ASAP would be my recommendation, because that's going to be another 2-day event. And guess what? There's going to be some crazy, incredible training. Not only that, it's in Las Vegas, right? We're going to have a great time. You better believe we've got some special things planned for that. So thank you. Let's go ahead and go with Gabby. Go ahead and let me unmute Gabby so you can go ahead and I see you're the next one with your hand raised.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my goodness, I don't really even know where to begin. I can just say this, that I came back with a complete different mindset. You know, it just reminds me how we were building before in other company. It was always from event to event. And the energy, like I think it was Miss Kim Bean that said that you just cannot take that energy and bottle it in a bottle and take it home to your team or wherever your team members are. It really puts a whole new perspective in your business. And just to have Mr. Rangel, I gotta tell you that powerful panel that you had there, that we actually have access to you, Mr. Navarro, everyone, every single one, Mr. Bean, every single person that you had on that panel that's giving us knowledge. They open the door that we can ask questions and just learn from that. I know that this is a beginning of something huge, and that time is going to be gone. And I think you touched on that. It is going to be gone. We're not going to be able to reach you. We're not going to be able to, have you available like we have it now. So I think that everyone needs to really put value on that perspective alone of what we have there. And I think everybody needs to be signed up for the next event, because this is exactly how the business is going to grow. I came back renewed, my mind is so refreshed, and I see it. I see what's happening. And most of all, the humility. The people there were so humble. And I'm talking about the leadership down to us consultants, the mentors, the tremendous, and you have a lot of great mentors that were there to see those roles. So I tell you, I'm excited. I'm excited about where BYLD is going, and I'm definitely taking it to the next level.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gabby. Gabby and I have known each other for about 12, 13 years, and we used to work together. That's when we met. And we were number one and number two in the company that we worked together. So she knows the momentum, the success that was created there. And she says, you guys are redoing that here and obviously with a much better opportunity, right? So in my healthy coffee days, her and I's healthy coffee days, we were selling healthy coffee. So let's go with, thank you for sharing, Gabby. Let's go with Arlene George. You're on mute, Arlene.
Okay, good morning. All I can say about the event is that my cup runs over. There's nothing like an event to fill your cup up. This is my first Mentor Factory, and I'm telling you, every speaker, first of all, starting with the leadership and the humility and the integrity and the character that was demonstrated throughout the entire event was phenomenal and refreshing. But my two takeaways were think big, dream bigger, faster. Understanding my why and keeping my why in front of me every single day so that I continue to have my cup filled and overflowing. Second was put the work in. It's understanding your why, but also put the work in, put it into action. And Mr. B laid out that schedule of blocking out, because I'm part-time, blocking out 4 different times throughout my week to do personal presentations, along with it plugging into all of the corporate presentations. So putting that work in, understanding the why, and great leadership. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Arlene. And thank you, by the way, Arlene. She was kind enough to help us throughout the whole weekend. She bought her ticket to the event, and she was helping with the registrations, with the shirts, with all that stuff. So people like Arlene, not only Arlene, like Brenda Nava, and I hope I don't leave anybody behind, right? There was multiple, Mrs. Bean, all of you that volunteer to help. I want you to know it doesn't go unnoticed. You guys are awesome. You guys are the epitome of the person that we are looking for and attracting, frankly. So thank you very much. Let's go with Mrs. Kathy Jewell.
Good morning. Good morning. Ditto to everything that everyone has said. I mean, it was totally amazing. Words cannot express how impactful the event was. I mean, even being there and the challenge that we had to go out during lunchtime to, talk to somebody. So I got 2 new prospects while I was there. Hitting the ground running. I bought my tickets already for the next event. I took advantage of the bundle And as your slogan is, if you build it, they will come. So I've purchased the ticket, so my builders are coming. But
That's
my
right.
two takeaways was that your comfort zone becomes your broke zone. I don't want to be broke, so I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone and do what I need to do to get this done. Okay, and then my second takeaway was action is bigger than fear. And sometimes we do get a little fretful because my biggest peeve was I don't know nothing about solar. Ain't never heard of the process before in my life. That is just out the window now. It doesn't even really matter. After going through all of the role plays and things of that nature, and then seeing the counterparts next to me and everybody engaging, it just gives you a whole different perspective. You, like Gabby said, you see it differently. And as Dr. Arlene said, our cup runneth over with all the information that was obtained this weekend. It was phenomenal.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that makes sense. You're not going to know everything when you get started, right? But as they say, you don't have to be great to start, but you've got to start to be great. You'll learn along the way, right? You got the certifications in the back office. There's 2 certifications, by the way. You've got 4 hours of certification. Certification number 1, ladies and gentlemen, on the solar side is the basics of solar. Certification number 2 is for level 2 sellers, people that are selling on their own. That is more advanced. And then you've got, so I'll give you this. For those of you guys that want to get a crash course on learning solar, here would be my recommendation. Go through certification level 1, certification level 2, and go through the solar crash course in the back office. By the way, if any of you guys would be so kind to find that one and put it in the chat on the WhatsApp group, that would be amazing. And I recommend you go through those 3 trainings twice. I guarantee you'll learn extra stuff the second time. You'll catch things the second time that you didn't the first time, right? So you want to boost up your knowledge, go through certification level 1, 2, and the solar crash course. I guarantee you, after that, you're going to come back with so much more knowledge than you did afterwards. And guess what that leads to? That leads to confidence. That leads to you being to that next level of competence, right? Conscious competence. I guarantee you're going to skip to level 3 of conscious competence if you go through all of that. Those of you guys that went to Mentor Factory, you know what I'm talking about, conscious competence. Let's go with Johnny Montes. Thank you, Kathy.
Grand Rising. Good afternoon, everybody. Can't have my camera on. I'm driving. But my big takeaways were, first of all, the whole thing. I told JC, I was like, man, I would have paid what I paid just to watch you speak, just to watch Mr. Pacheco and then Danny Pesci. But for the whole thing, man, I feel like I owe you guys money. But my biggest yeah, better not come out of my commission, I'm telling you guys. But what I wrote down to my biggest takeaways that really hit me, take action, right? When you said about, hey, go out there and go talk to people, when we came back from lunch, Mark and I came back with a combined I think like 8 leads in less than 30 minutes.
Wow.
After, so we came back, Mark, I sent out some videos. I sent out some videos. My guy, Willie, also sent out like 5 different videos. So we pulled a bunch of leads just in less than an hour. And the other one is, Mr. Bean said, if you have a big enough why, you'll find the how. Ooh. So a lot of times I ask a lot, like, how do I do this? How do you guys do this? How do you guys do this? Like, well, look, if your why is big enough, you'll find the how. So that one's, I'm about to put that into a shirt.
Like she'd be like really pretty, like
I love it. I love it. Great job. Anything else, brother? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. You're fine. That's it. I don't want to, because I'm not. You know how I am, bro. I'll ramble on.
Yeah. By the way, we made people. What Johnny's talking about is that we taught people the scripts. Then we said at lunch, everybody needs to go and talk to 2 people, expose 2 people to the business, pique their interest, send them some information. Like half of the room or more came back and had talked to a minimum of 2. I think the one person talked to 5 people. Johnny talked to 4. There was one guy that talked to 5 people while he was out. There were certainly some people that got recruited just at lunchtime. And it just gave people an example of when you're in that state of mind, you can go out and talk to people. You can go out and prospect people. And a lot of people did Had we not mentioned that, I guarantee you that wouldn't have happened. Not even close. Maybe some of you guys will talk to a couple of folks, but that just goes to show the power of proximity, the power of training, the power of being in that state. By the way, put in the chat if anybody has ever been to a Tony Robbins event. Just actually, there's no chat, so you can raise your hand. So if you ever been to a Tony Robbins event, he talks about you got to change your state. You can't be in a, you could change your state, right? You could go and hit your chest, whatever it is that you got to do, you got to change, and you change your state by changing your physiology, right? Your posture, how you stand, the smile. It's hard to be in a bad mood when you are smiling, and it takes time, it takes practice to do that, but your physiology has a lot to do with how you're going to feel, right? So it's, you know, and obviously events like that certainly help with that. So let's go with Kyrie. Give me your
fantastic morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, that's how you say it, fantastic. Well, first and foremost, I try to do a couple of quick bullet points because definitely can't put it all in words. Let me back up to servitude. I made sure to make eye contact voluntarily with Mrs. Bean. Anybody who's around, y'all know what I mean when I say that, because you look at her, she's gonna put you to work. So I got it out the way. And you know, just there to help and serve the team. One thing, when Mr. Wences was up and he had the comparison with Dennis Rodman, and you know, just never ever quit. How he just was speaking, and that's from my timeline as far as basketball. You know, Dennis Rodman, one thing, he never quit. He not only that, he gave it his all. And that's really what a lot of this is, you know, just, you know, because a lot of us, as again, comfort zones, and we, you know, not really getting ourselves immersed in what it is we do. And also too with Mr. Bean, structure, you know, when he broke down the calendar and so forth, but he, you know, we get that from him, but just to see it visually. And, you know, so we have a true track to run on. And also too, before I jump off, I got a chance to speak and take in his excitement. Our very own Aquaman, Mr. Ovi, that's his name, Aquaman. Going forward, he's Aquaman. His level of excitement to partnering up with BYLD and so forth, just it's, you know, you stand back and you watch somebody who is at the top of the mountain of their profession, but now he's just so excited to be on a track with us to build, and not just the water and all these great demonstrations, but just be part of something great. And that's what this is. That's what we have here. We're all part of something great, and we're ground floor. And I'm so excited about it. Back to you, sir.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much, Kyrie. You bring up a great point. Mr. Ovi has been in the water business for so long, very successful, has made great money. He attended the entire event, the entire weekend he attended. What was interesting is that when he went up and he gave a testimonial before he even went to train, and he said, I am going to start selling solar myself. What you guys have is exciting. Then this business model, when you add the water to it, is just going to take it to another level. You guys are going to crush it, because he knows the power of the water just on the sales side. Now, when you're doing it through a network, so it shows a couple of things, not only the power of the water, but the power of our business model and the power of solar. For somebody like him to be so excited to participate in the business, when he got started, he just was like, yeah, you guys need somebody to train and close your sales. I'm your man. We didn't even ask him. We invited him. He said, sure, I love, and he wanted to come and learn, because he's like, how are you guys making so many sales? How are you guys getting such good leads? I need to know more about this business model. So he came to the training, and guess what? He's all in, man. So anyways, that's a great point, Kyrie. Thank you for sharing. Let's go with Calvin, please. What are 2 things that you got from the event, my friend?
Awesome, man. I just want to say that, Kyrie, you have amazing energy, brother. You sat behind me, and I just love the energy that you bring to the table. It's amazing, man. So a lot of things, but I think the biggest things, I just wanted to, you know, say a few things, but I wrote this down. A disciplined person is happier. So I really like that, you know, staying disciplined. I want to give a shout out. I was the guy with Francisco, my guy over here. We were at lunchtime. I saw some, you know, pretty sharp people in suits. Decided to approach them, and it was me and Francisco that talked to these 5 people. You know, connected with them, but you know, Coffee got sick, so she won. But I mean, it's all about exposure, right? And I forget who said this. It was either you, JC, or Ed Ayala, that said, hey, you know what? Let's face it, man. The fact is that 40% of the room here is not going to be here next year. And that's okay, because it's not meant for everybody. But I also love when you said, hey, man, think of it as like a bonfire, right? We have this bonfire here. If we're all on the cold in the beach and we're all freezing to death, and then there's just one like bonfire there, you want to stay as close as possible, right? And you got to drag other bodies to come to this bonfire, to make them, stay alive, and not only stay alive, but grow and thrive together. So that's the same thing in our business right now. Unfortunately, sometimes people just say, you know what, I don't want to be part of that bonfire. I see something else over there. That's fine. But I just love the mentality, man. Is that, hey, you got to keep grinding. You got to keep doing what you got to do. Personal development is something that you do every day, not something that you did, right? So, and training as well too, man. There's just so much information. For those of you guys that did not go to Mentor Factory, I don't know how to put this, man. You missed out. You literally just missed out, man. This is my 3rd year going to Mentor Factory, and 3rd year, guys, right? And I can tell you, man, every single time we go to these events, that you just get so much value. And it's not just about you getting value. It's about how can you, just like what JC, just what like Sam Bean, Arialas, the Pachecos, Navarros, right? Like how are they building? Watch what they're doing, right? There's something special about these people that are allowing us to build something big. And I think the biggest part is just like, if you have this, pill, or you have this water, or you have this drink that that's going to save lives and affect all these people in a positive way, you got to go out there and share that with that excitement, right? And when you do that, that's when you're able to build something large. Because again, it's not enough for just you to do it yourself. If JC would do this himself, there would be no company. Who said that? He said, like, hey, the company would not be where it's at if it wasn't for the people, right? So I really love the fact that it's just a one community. It's the same team, and we treat each other like family. So I really love what's being built here. I cannot wait to see how things unfold in the next 5 years, man. So I'm super excited. Got my tickets. Francisco, who's also here as well too, he got his tickets, and we're just already game planning, man. So yeah, man, just excited for the next event.
I love it. Well, Calvin, I've told you this before, you're one of the most committed people, one of the biggest team players. You're always on the trainings. You always have your camera on 95% of the time, right? Like I know last week you were in the process, the last couple of weeks you're in the process of moving, right? So you've been more busy, yet you still connect when you can. And that's why you're starting to see the results. You're a mentor with the company. Is that right? You're a Builder 500 too, right? So you are on your way, and the same people that got you to Builder 500, some of them won't be the same people that get you to Builder 1000, and that's okay. That's why we're always processing. But before you know it, you've got 2 core people on your team. You've got 4 core people on your team, and before you know it, you cannot even stop your team, even if you tried. So you just got to get there. That's why we do the events, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the Las Vegas event is something that you've got to attend if you want to take your business to the next level. And there will be ups and downs, but people that came out of Bulletproof Factory, Mentor Factory, are coming back bulletproof, right? I got those mixed up. Why? Because they realized, they saw the big vision. They saw the people that have been there. They say, oh, they showed me the roadmap. They were where I'm at 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 5 years ago, right? And now look where they're at now. And we are such a new company. And look at the testimonials and the type of incomes that people are making already. And we launched in August. Guys, 2 months ago was our official launch. And this is not normal. This is not normal. So anyways, thank you very much for sharing, Calvin. Let's go ahead and go with Brenda Nava. Go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Let us know what are 2, 3 things that you got from the event.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me speak today. Before I came to the event, I had already planned out that I'm going to become a mentor, not only in the solar, but also in the water filtration system. So I had everything planned out to stay after the event. And I'm here actually at the office today, very excited. My heart is pumping because I'm going to go door knocking. And after the event, all I can say for those of you that did not come is next time, make your why. Really write down your why as to why you're doing this. because the biggest takeaway I got, and I've seen it from the beginning when I started this company, is the system. We have a system that is literally going to make you not only a millionaire, but a billionaire when you look at it and you really get down and, you know, dig deep into what we have here. So the whole training, everything we saw this weekend, the emotion, the energy, everything in general, you know, for those of us that are here and took it serious, we are going to be in the beaches of the world, and we are going to change the world, the solar world and the water world, because of what we have. So I want you guys to take it seriously. Make sure next time we have an event, do not miss it. Again, make that why bigger and really realize. You might say, oh, I have a why and this is why I'm doing it. And if you weren't here, that why wasn't big enough. So for me, it's the system, and just seeing in person, you know, everybody, not only seeing that, but seeing an actual mentor, which that to me, actual mentor, you know, closing 2 deals. Well, we went to lunch and getting recognized for that. That was big for me, because those 2 deals could change my life right now. And just realizing that I can be traveling, I can be at an event, I can be wherever I'm going to be, I can close those deals. So that was a huge, huge takeaway for me. And, you know, Builder 8000 is done, and that's why I'm here. And I'm, you know, just hustling. You got to do what you need to do. So make that why bigger. Really realize what you're doing this for, because your life is about to change. It's literally, so don't miss another event ever, ever again if you're serious about changing your life and your family's life. That's all I got to say.
Wow. Brenda, I'm excited to see you at the office here in a couple of minutes. Those of you locals, you have to be at the sales meeting Mondays at 11 a.m. Now, if you have a job, that's fine. It's okay. Keep your job. I don't want you to lose your job, right? But there's some of you that you don't go to the 11 a.m. meeting because it's a 20-minute drive or a 30 or a 50-minute drive. It's like, come on, man. How big is your why? Now, if your why is big. If your why is not big and you just want to supplement your income, hey, no big deal. Remember, there's 3 kinds of people. There's people that want to supplement their income. There's people that want to replace their income. And then there's people that want financial freedom. By the way, clarification, financial freedom doesn't mean $1 million a year. Financial freedom means that you make enough money to do whatever you want with whoever you want for as long as you want. For some people, that might be $100,000. Some of you guys might live in another state or even in another country, and it's 80 grand a year. And that'll give you financial freedom. For some people, financial freedom means $1 million a year, right? But for those of you guys that want to replace your income or financial freedom, you got to put in the work, you got to put in the sacrifice, you got to get outside of your comfort zone, bottom line. So I want to see not only today, but moving forward, you show up. Think of the people that show up. I show up to that sales meeting every doggone day. Success and showing up is not a choice for me. For winners, that isn't a choice. Brenda decided to stay an extra day, an extra couple of days, so she could go to the meetings, be around this environment in person. She gets on these trainings via Zoom. Now she gets to be there live, and she's going to go on the field. Now, going on the field is not for everybody, by the way. And that's fine. But she wants to experience every aspect of the business. I guarantee you, you mark my words, she will be one of those success stories. Last event, the launch, she wasn't on stage being recognized for a rank. This event, she was on stage being recognized as a Builder 500. And I have no doubt she will be a mentor in solar. She will be a mentor in water. She's going to be a tremendous success story. You mark my words, because she's a woman that will not give up. So thank you for sharing, Brenda. Let's go with Jim Meadows. Did we lose Jim? You might be on mute, Jim.
Okay. Got you. Sorry, I'm new to this. Thank you, JC. Brenda Nava. I am working directly with Brenda. I'm 30 days into this thing, man. And I am so pumped. So glad I chose to come to LA for this first event. Look forward to Vegas. Okay, let me go to my notes. I've been training for this for 20 years, man. I've been in direct marketing for a while. I'm ready. The leadership that you have shown me through this event, through Brenda, Sam Bean, Barry Overton, I can't wait. I love that there is no mystery in the approach about this. We're talking solar, right? I don't have to send you to a mystery meeting. I don't have to pop up into your home, like that. It's all virtual, that it's all just straight out there, straightforward. Love it. The one statement that stuck with me is, don't look for a leader, be a leader. I got that. I am going to move in that direction. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That just gave me so much confidence. Like, just talk about it. Just get out there and just do it. I've already set my October 25 goals for the Mentor Academy next year. Can't wait to be on that stage, being a leader, being a mentor. Man, I'm stoked. I am so excited. Building my empire. Love working with you guys. Look for coffee. Mark, met a lot of great leaders out there, guys. Looking forward to this ride.
Well, we're looking forward to this ride with you as well. And I have no doubt that you will be up there because you've seen a lot of things in your career in this industry. And this is really, really different. So I'm excited for you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Love the shirt, by the way. Looks good on you, man. Let's go with Louis Rangel. That guy looks familiar.
How's it going, everybody? Well, look, everybody said a lot of great things, you know, but I want to applaud the gentleman that just came, and not just him, but everybody that made the effort to fly in to come over here, right? Again, a lot of people around this area here didn't show up, didn't make it. So I do want to applaud everybody that came from out of state. And that should show everybody, right, the power of this business, for people to fly out, for people to book a room out here, right? Because they see the power, they understand what we have to offer. So just raise your level of conviction. We understand a lot of people are new. You got to be new to this. If you're new to this, but you got to be true to this, right, JC? And that's one thing that I want to become, right? I am a mentor in the company. I want to elevate my game, and I want to lead by example. So that's one thing that just reignited myself, recommitted myself, and that's what these trainings do, right? I've attended probably more trainings than anybody that JC has here, because I've seen trainings over and over. You guys see me in the trainings too. I'm here in person, but I'm just here to enjoy the ride and build with you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys in Vegas and the next events. And like JC says, I'll see you at the top or from the top.
That's right. That's right. That's a nice hat too, bro. That's a nice hat. By the way, Lewis is also a manager with the company. He's a mentor with the company, but he's also a manager. That means that his team already did over 10 installs in a 60-day period. So he's got also a manager on his team. So you're on your way, bro. You know what I mean? It's interesting because this is my brother, and he had never been, he dabbled once or twice with me in network marketing, never really had any success. And then when I started in the solar industry, he started just showing up to trainings. Then he started realizing, wait a minute, people are making sales and they're making how much money? And that girl made a sale. I said, well, these are regular people like me. They're nothing special. They're not like these big time professionals. And they're able to get these kind of results. You know what? I'm going to give it a go. And that was a couple of years ago. Now, the growth that I have seen, this is my little brother, right? He's a year and a half younger than I am. And the growth that I have seen in the last couple of years with him is just, in the last 2 years, for example, has been amazing. To the point of this, we train all the time on how you do anything is how you do everything. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. He started, by the way, Louis, do you have that video handy of 2 years ago or a year ago? Can you pull it up on your phone, and I'll let you share your screen?
Which video?
The one where you were so big that when you went to school you sat next to everybody.
Oh man, hold on, let me see.
Okay, so check this out. How you do anything is how you do everything. This guy started having discipline in business. He started showing up to trains. I kept training on discipline and consistency, right? And how an apple a day keeps the doctor away, not 7 apples on Sunday, and just all the lessons that we learn in this industry. This guy's already been training for about 500 days at the gym. He trains almost every day. He made a decision that he was sick and tired of being sick and tired. In the last year and a half, or about a year and a half, he's lost over 40 pounds and completely transformed himself, because guess what? One discipline leads to other disciplines, right? They say in the book of Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, phenomenal book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. He says that disciplines are followed by a flock of their relatives. Lack of discipline is also followed by a flock of its relatives. So if you lack discipline here, you're gonna lack discipline there. But if you start to develop discipline here, guess what happens? It bleeds into other areas of your life, and that's an example. So Louis, do you have that video handy?
I do.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna make you co-host.
Oh shit.
Are you able to or no?
I have it, yeah.
Okay, good. Go ahead and share your screen. And show us that video. When you share the screen, click audio as well. That you share the audio to on the bottom left of the screen.
Okay, so share screen. I'm not sure it has much audio. I think it does though.
Okay. The visual is what we really need.
All right, let me know if you can see my phone.
There you go. I can see your phone, so go to the video that you want to share with us. That was
one of the reasons I joined solar was because I made a promise to my kids that we were going to do a couple of things, you know, so just our personal stuff. And I made promises that.
So that was one, and there's me trying to do a pull-up, right?
Wow. Oh, wow.
That was me trying to do one pull-up. No way.
And that's you now.
And I'm wearing my solar shirt, you know? My last referral that I got from the gym, he pays $900 on electricity, a personal referral. This week I will be presenting to him. And, but yeah, that's a little bit of the results.
Wow.
That's it. All right, let's stop sharing.
Thank you for sharing, Louis.
Let's go, Louis.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And it just started, like JC says, with a decision, you know? There's a guy at the gym that bumped into me and told me the same thing, Louis. I committed because he understands. He follows me. He's my friend for years. And he told me, he goes, hey, Louis, I committed. I committed to start working out to change my life, you know? And all I did was get upset. And that's what we got to do with business, too. We got to get upset of where the hell we're at, of the things that we're not doing, right? And that's where one thing I took away from the event. I left there a little bit upset with myself, knowing that I could do better and I will do better, right? And I'm going to hold myself accountable. Me and Johnny just, I don't think he mentioned, but we started a accountability program that we're going to start. We're going to kick off. So find an accountability program. That's another thing, like a workout partner, right? A lot of workout partners don't make it to the gym with me, and I still make it, you know, because we got to lead by example. And that's one thing that I do want to share with you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Louis. You're transforming your business and you're transforming yourself. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. Let's go with Eddie, and then we'll go with Fabian. Then we'll go with Coffee. So those will be the last three because we got to wrap this meeting up. And then remember, tonight, Millionaire Mentorship Zoom, 6 p.m. Let's go with Eddie.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. First of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to actually speak. I don't take it for granted. One of the things that my wife and I really got from this meeting is consistency. Consistency and the commitment to do the work. As you guys can see behind me, grind, hustle, and execution, that's what we live by in our business. And just adding the build to it and actually adding solar and water filtration and all these things that we're actually adding, we're basically partnered up together. I'm out there beating the street and my wife is here doing the HR, as I call it. But the thing that I really got out of this, how committed the company is to making us a success. And that in and of itself, I don't think a lot of people realize how much that really means to your business. Because if your leadership is committed and you commit to that leadership, you have no place else to go but up. And I just want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to actually being able to be part of this business, because I've been in many different businesses to get before, and we own our own business. However, this is something totally different, special. And as I've mentioned to you before, JC, just a quick story. You know, when you came down to Houston and did that presentation, we were already sold. We signed up before the training even started. And that was the day of my wife and I's anniversary. So we basically said we could do the anniversary some other day. We're going to go ahead and start doing building. And we started doing all of the filming and checking all of the training on the dashboard in the back office. And we just took off and started running with this. So I want to thank you guys for giving us this opportunity to do this. And by the way, we basically are bundling ourselves together by, getting as many tickets as we could in order to get our team to the next event, because we want to be able to bring at least 10, 15, 20 people to that event from our team that we are building. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. Couple of key nuggets. He saw the business presentation. Coffee invited him. I went to Houston to do a Super Saturday. Coffee and Mr. Bean and Mrs. Bean set that up. Also, Angel was there. That's when I met Angel for the first time. And he tells me today's my wife and I's anniversary, but we're here. And that is a type of commitment, right? That it takes to win. And not a lot of people have that kind of commitment. And here's the deal. I'm not saying, hey, listen, you have to go to training on your anniversary. But sometimes we make these decisions and it turned out to be a good one. Thank you for sharing. And the other thing that I would say to people is this. It's not about the next event, showing up to the next event. That is average mind thinking. It is about how big of an army, thank you, will I show up to the next event with? Because imagine, those of you guys that went to Mentor Factory, we cannot do it justice, the type of impact that an event like this has. Can't do it justice. You got to be there. You can't explain. It's like trying to explain to somebody what chocolate tastes like. Can't do it, right? You know what I mean? It tastes good. I mean, how do you describe that? You cannot describe the impact the Mentor Factory has. So the question is this: how many? And I believe everybody. I want to make this abundantly clear. I believe that everybody. Hold on, I'm going to tell my wife to prepare something for me. Hey, babe, could you give me a canister with that delicious alkaline Alka 75 water, please? Because, I don't drink that regular water and stuff. You know what I mean? I care about my health. I want to be here for my kids in the future for a long, long time. So before I leave, I always take a canister of water, ladies and gentlemen. So, but I believe that every single person here, ladies and gentlemen, has the opportunity to show up to Las Vegas with a group of no less than 10 people on your team. Between now and then, you could do it. You get a couple people that get excited about this deal. They get a couple people that get excited about this deal. Guess what? You got 10 people. You show up to an event like this with 10 people. It's a real estate play. What do I mean by a real estate play? Here's what I mean. What I mean is every seat that you have taken up with a team member of yours is a real estate play. Every single seat. So you should have a goal, not only to make it to the Las Vegas convention that happens in April or May of next year. We're finalizing the dates. But you should have a goal, ladies and gentlemen, to show up with at least 10 people. So thank you for that. Let's go with Fabian.
Hey, brother, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I can.
Awesome, man. Hey, man, first and foremost, just wanted to say thank you to you and the leadership for putting on that event. It was a great event. And, thank you for pouring into us for a whole weekend, man. My two takeaways, I'll keep it short and sweet. The first one is it just reconfirmed a lot of things for me. I've been to hundreds of these events. And the first thing that it reconfirmed for me was that third party is the best party, right? There was a gentleman on my team that was there with me, and he just came back completely transformed, different mindset, was telling me things that he was fired up about that I've actually told him before, right? And you sit there and you're like, well, I've told you this already. Well, I don't say it to him, but that's what you're thinking. Right. And I've realized from mentors in the past that have told me, when they hear it from somebody else, they hear it different. And here, having people, he also told me, don't ever go to an event by yourself. The quickest way to duplicate yourself is always have somebody at the event with you. And you equip these people by having them at the event because it's not going to be the same. You can't convey it the same to them, right? So for people to be able for you to be able to duplicate yourself and have these people perform at your level, you have to have these people hear what you hear, see what you see, read what you read, and be immersed like you are. And, that was something that was reconfirmed for me. And the other thing that was reconfirmed that's just amazing was meeting all these other people from different backgrounds, different ages, different skin colors, different religions, and just talking to these people in the hallways, networking and mingling with everyone is just so amazing because sometimes, when I started in my network marketing career, you see these people on stage, and sometimes even though you're getting the best information, it's hard to relate to the leadership on stage because sometimes we think, oh, it's so easy for them, right? They look good, they're making money, they speak great, and it's hard to relate. But when you're in the hallways and you're meeting all these other people from different parts of the world, different parts of the country, you get to hear other people's struggles. You get to hear other people's stories. You might get a nugget here and there from them. And it kind of builds your confidence and it reminds you of why you're there. And you realize that you're not alone. You realize that you're in a group that's like-minded and that are after the same goals as you are. So being around these people and staying close to the fire is just amazing. And those were the two takeaways that I had from the event. It was a blast. I had fun. I met so many new people and it was just amazing. So thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that very much. And, Fabian has a lot of experience in business and in network marketing. And I have no doubt, brother, that, he's one of the guys that signed up with us early, but, was busy with his insurance business. And now he's ready to start going. So I'm excited to see what you're going to do, brother. And I know it's going to be great. Thank you for sharing. Let's take one more. Let's go with Mrs. Coffee.
JC, what's popping? How you doing, sir?
Hey, building.
Period. So I'm gonna say this: it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but I recommend you chase it down with vodka. All right, that's one of my sayings. And another one is, we all have something in common. It's a butthole, and nothing comes out of it but waste. So when people give you excuses and they say, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that," I say, yeah, excuses are like buttholes. We all got one, but nothing comes out of it but waste. What's your point? If I told you that my house burned down to the ground, if I told you that my husband fell dead, if I told you that I haven't seen one of my children in a year, if I told you that a situation happened where somebody laced a gummy that I had and then they stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from me, you don't see me making no excuse. You don't see me crying and complaining and, this woe is me. Man, that's whatever. Life is always going to life, but it's what you do about your life that matters. People never want to hear about your test. They want to hear about the testimony. How did you overcome whatever it was you experienced? Nobody cares that you're having a test. I'm going to tell y'all, I was sitting there with David Imonite, one of the wealthiest people that ever hit this industry. Right after my husband died, he said, I don't care. I walked off. And it was a long time before I stood. He basically was telling me, come back to me with a testimony. I literally texted him today and said something to him after I've shown something, after I've done something, after I accomplished something. And he always responds with the same exact thing, a heart. What that means is that now you believe. The biggest thing we all got to do, y'all, over everything, we got to believe. All believes. What do you believe about you? It's not about nobody else but you. When you look in that mirror, what do you believe about you? Let me tell you, I love this concept of, finding a partner and all that kind of stuff. That's all cute.
Coffee, I think we're losing you.
You gonna stop working because they stopped? Oh, my partner didn't come, so I can't do it. Oh, I don't have a spotter. I don't have nobody to spot me. What? What you mean you don't have nobody to spot? Run on the treadmill. Do something different because your partner didn't show up. So we got to stop using any kind of system to make us a crutch. Get up. You got two good legs that got. I'll give it back to JC. My father is completely blind. He can't see a thing. I watched my father lose his sight. I watched my dad ask God to take his life. And my dad didn't make an excuse. He's been pastoring for 40 years. My dad goes to work out 3 times a week. My dad is completely debt free. My dad owes no human nothing. And this is a blind man. We all got sight and can't use it. Don't make excuses. Go do what you got to do. I'm telling y'all, as God lives in heaven, JC and all these leaders, this business is going to be bigger than Amazon. Mark my words. Watch and see. It's going to be bigger than Amazon. Why? Because they put God first, people next. God is first and then people are next. And if God is for us, it doesn't matter who is against us. JC, I get back to you.
Hallelujah. Wow. Powerful testimonial. Yeah, we attract our tribe, ladies and gentlemen. I just got to the office. So I'm in the parking lot. So if you guys see me, oh, he's driving with, well, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm driving. I'm focused. So we attract our tribe, right? I say it all the time. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that we are attracting good people. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that we have good reasons why we're doing what we're doing. We just want to do good business. Let's bless our people by blessing our customers. Think about that concept. You bless your people with an opportunity by helping customers and blessing customers. It's not that hard to do the right thing. And will we get some bad apples that come in here and there? Sure. But they won't last because they just can't last in this environment. We don't put up with nonsense, with stuff that happens in other companies. We're just not going to do that here. A couple of things I'll mention. No politics, meaning gossip, negativity. No cross recruiting here, right? None of that crap. Don't do that, right? Don't eye gouge your customer. Don't make crazy income claims. Some people are going to make a very little money. Some people are going to make no money. And some people are going to make a lot of money. And there's going to be a lot less people that make a lot of money versus the people that make no money. But the opportunity is the same for everybody. Okay? The truth is good enough. The truth is good enough. So I love you guys. We had a great meeting here. Remember, Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. We got to double the amount of people there. You got to make a commitment. I'm going to get everybody there that didn't make it on this one. Get everybody there. You're going to have Mr. Navarro on there. Mr. Bean on there, Mr. Ed Ayala, myself, okay, Mrs. Bean there. 3 major announcements that you don't want to miss, okay? So I'll see you guys there. Let's get to work. We're going to keep this line open for the sales meeting that we're going to start. We're going to be done in 30 minutes, by the way. It's going to be a short one. We got a lot of work to do, and we're building up for the Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. For those of you guys already in the office, I'm in the parking lot, so I'll be there in a couple of minutes. We'll leave this line open. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Let's build.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you. Let's build.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. That is old school. We're good. Okay, thank you very much. Hey, well, man, that's awesome. All right, let's put our phones on silent. Let's get started. All right. Some of you on Zoom needed to be here in person. Next week, I want you here in person because of conversations that we had. So, okay, we just are getting out of Mentor Factory. So I'm here to say a couple things. One of them, I want to start off by saying that it's time to level up, right? It's time to take your business to the next level. How many of you guys feel that after Mentor Factory, you went to another level by show of hands?
Yes.
But what is it that I say very often that people suffer from temporary what? Excitement or temporary motivation. Some of you guys are here because you just came out of Mentor Factory and it's so close to Mentor Factory that your motivation is still there. But next week or the week after, this won't be a normal thing for you. Some of you guys are here on time for the same reason. But the next week or the week after, that's going to change. You'll start getting here late. You'll start, because it's like a thermostat, right? Like we have a thermostat in here set to a certain degree. Your personal development and your income is what it is because of what your thermostat is set to. Your personal development thermostat, your income thermostat. Because if I put the thermostat here to 70 and we go ahead and open the windows, right, and it starts going up, the thermostat will kick in and get it back down to 70, right? Let's say your income thermostat is set to 70,000 a year, right? And then guess what happens? Your income thermostat is set to $70,000 a year, and then maybe one year you make 80,000, but the next year goes right back down to 70. You know why? Because your income thermostat is set to that. When you go to the events, when you come to things like this and you learn with the intent to teach and apply, you got to remember that. You got to learn with the intent to teach and to apply, right? Then guess what happens to that thermostat? Starts to rise. Then in that thermostat, you're $100,000 per year person. You might make 90,000, 80,000 one year, then you come right back to 100, 110, and you're right there. But you know what is also consistent with you being at 100%? You're more consistent to these. You're more consistent with your work ethic. You're more consistent with showing up on time. You're a different person. I guarantee you. One of the quotes that I say very often that is so true is this. If you could have the things that you wanted, being the person that you are, somebody finish it.
You would already have them.
You would already have them. Some people say, I want to make $150,000 a year. Or whatever the number is, $70,000 a year. That's fine. Look, I don't knock anybody for their income goals. My income goals are tiny goals for some of my friends. They laugh at some of my income goals, right? Seriously. So I don't ever relate happiness with money. Do I think money has something to do with happiness? I sure do. Hell yeah. I know that, and I'm going to get a little political here, so bear with me. I know that there's the public school system, especially in California, is putting tampons in the boys' restrooms. I don't agree with that bullshit. Do you see what I'm coming from? And you know why I say that too? I want those kind of stats to be clear about the company that we have. I want things like we respect and value everybody's religion and beliefs. Doesn't have to be mine, but I respect yours and respect mine. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right? I don't want people teaching my son, hey, and they can't teach him, but telling them there's more than two genders. No, there's two genders. So when I go and pay $1,000 for private school plus food, guess what? If I was broke like I used to be, I couldn't do that. That's important to me. That brings me happiness. Does that make sense? When my mom tells me she needs something, some dental work, I say, Mom, just tell me how much it is. This is not something you should worry about. That is where, so when we talk about money, I want it to be clear. Now, whatever you want the money for, that's your prerogative. I'm telling you, for me, that makes me happy. For my wife to be at home taking care of our kids, that makes me happy. That's what she wants. She also wants to feel like she's making her own money. Guess what? She's an ADT mentor, and she does. I said, baby, you work as much as you want to work. That last week on Friday, I think she closed 3 ADT deals at you.
I said, damn, you gonna be my sugar mama. You keep that up. I'm gonna be your trophy husband. Stay at home, take care of the kids. You go to work, baby. Right? We have a good relationship like that, right? But I know that that's something that she wants to feel like she's making her own money. Okay, that's cool. I respect that, right? Now, one thing that we do agree on is that she's not gonna go out to work and we're gonna have a babysitter. That's not what we want. I don't critique anybody for how they live their life or how because some of us there's only so much that we could do. Does that make sense? Some people that may be the situation, but maybe that's a goal that you want one day for it not to be the situation. And we have an opportunity here, ladies and gentlemen, for you to accomplish those goals that you want to accomplish, right? So I wanna make that clear. So we talk a lot about money, we talk a lot about success. Let somebody in right there. Somebody's trying to get in, please. Thank you, Idris. So we've got two guests here from out of town. So I want to acknowledge them. Okay. So we've got Mrs. Brenda Nava. If you can stand up and introduce yourself and where you're from, Brenda. Give her a round of applause.
My name is Brenda Nava and I'm from Denver, Colorado. Very excited to be here.
And you're a rank?
I'm a builder 500 and I'm about to be a mentor in the solar and the water filtration system too.
That's right. That's right. That's some big goals, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's why I'm here.
That's right. And if you can stand up.
Idris Alaka, Brooklyn, New York. I'm a builder 500 and I'm a mentor in the business side.
That's right. Give him a round of applause. By the way, he didn't have to mention he was from New York, right? You hear that? You knew he was from New York, right? They always have that cool accent, man. You know what I mean? California accent's kind of like, oh, that's a California guy. New York people are just cool the way they talk, you know? So, all right. So we have these guests. They came from Mentor Factory, obviously. So they decided to stay some extra time and so they could come and spend time with us. Anybody came farther than New York? No. No wrong. Yeah. So Long Beach. So here's the deal. I would challenge you this, ladies and gentlemen. Challenge yourself to level up to that next place, right? To be consistent. I said on the call today, how you do anything is how you do everything. Are you going to be the now? Look, some of you guys, you made it here because you were able to go into work late, and that's not always the case. I'm not going to eat your lunch for that, man. I'm a firm believer of this. Have your job to pay your bills so you don't have commission breath. Then when your income starts to exceed that, then go ahead and go full time. Don't force full time. Not only that, going part-time until you're able to let that guy in, until you're able to go full-time is also more duplicative. You can relate to more people, right? So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about objection handling, but I want to talk about some goals that you guys have. I want to know, we got a small enough group here. So I want to know where you're going to be by this time next year. I want you to declare it. And I want you to say, and don't be influenced by anybody else's opinion. Not opinion, anybody else's numbers. You tell me where it is for you. Because that's what the truth is, right? The other thing is how many people you will have at the Las Vegas convention. How many of you guys wish that you had more people at the event? You're always going to feel that way. No matter how many people you have. You have 20 people there. Man, I wish I had 50. You have 50, I wish I had 100. Some of you guys are going to one day have a mentor factory or a convention that you got 50 people from your team there. By the way, when you get there, you're not going to have any money issues. Money will not be an issue. It'll be like Jay-Z. I got 99 problems. But money ain't one of them. Right? You guys thought I was going to say something else, huh? I got 99 problems, but money is not one of them. How do you guys want to get to that point? Yeah. Yes. And you guys are on the right track. I already see the growth in a lot of you guys, and it's really exciting to see. So anyways, we'll start with Johnny. Johnny, I want to know where you will be. You could talk about rank. You could talk about income. Where you will be by this time next year. So let's say by October 2025. And how many people will you have at the convention?
At the convention, I'm gonna have maybe for 20 people. Yeah. Maybe to get 20 people to pull up with us. I'll be builder 8,000.
I love it. Give them a round of applause.
But having that 8,000 number in my head since we left, I was like, that's something realistic that that I can do.
It is.
It's not just on my own. The way it was broken down for us, it's just like man, I'm really considering myself short. Yep. Really being a tonto. But if we get the right people right, that's something that I can realistically put together.
Okay, good. Builder 8,000 by then and 20 people.
Yeah, I was. I was.
Right? Thank you. Let's go with Brenda.
So by next year, you said, right?
1 year from now.
Okay,
Oh.
so my goal is to be an executive 25 by next year, and I want to be an executive director also by that time. My goal is to take 20 people to the convention.
I love it. Give a round of applause. Right. By the way, at executive numbers, you gotta have more than 20 people.
More than 20?
Yep.
Okay, so I gotta rewrite that.
You gotta have 30 to 50 people as executive. That's double executive. You guys know, do you guys know why it's double executive? We have two complexes. Did she say no? I believe you. I thought it was Roxy. I'm like, wait a minute, no, I don't think it was Roxy. So here's the deal. We have two compensation plans. We have the residual income compensation plan, which is the $99 membership, right? The subscriptions, residual income based on subscriptions. And then we have the direct sales comp plan. That's where solar, water, security all goes in. The 10 installs in a 60-day period, that moves you up to manager, right? Then 24 installs in a 60-day period moves you up to director. So those are the direct sales comp plan. Think of it like the Oncore solar comp plan. Then the BYLD comp plan is the dual team, the left and the right, based on $99 membership. So we run two comp plans at once. So the builder ranks are builder 500, 1,000. Who else can tell me?
2,000, 2,000.
5,
4,000, 4,000, 8,000,
and 8,000. So you got builder 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 5,000. I mean 8,000. After the builder 8,000, what comes next?
Executive 15.
Executive 15. Now, notice how there's a difference. Builder 8,000, you're cool. You make that's 100 grand a year residual.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal, by the way. Residual. How much? Think about this. How many people for builder 8,000 left and right?
240.
240. I like that he knows that right away. 240 people
that
left and right.
I started, yeah.
So check this out. Now you're at a point where you're making $100,000 a year residual income. How much do you guys realize how much money you have to invest in real estate to get a passive income of 8,000 a month? You have to have a couple million invested in real estate. No doubt. Think about it.
Yeah.
You can get there by blessing 240 and 240 people that you didn't bring yourself. You brought a couple folks who brought a couple folks. You guys follow?
Yeah.
So that is the builder 8,000. But once you get into the double digit residual, right? Excuse me, the 5-figure residual, right? Because at 10,000 is 5 figures. Once you get to the 5-figure residual, executive 15, now you're not a builder anymore. You're an executive. Doesn't that sound better?
Yes.
You're an executive now, right? So you're now an executive. So she says executive 25, not executive 15. By this time next year, should be executive 25. That's some big goals. What if, let's say, I believe she's gonna hit it for sure. Let's say she comes a little short and she's only an executive 15 by then. That'd be the worst thing in the world. She put the effort for executive 25. She's doing 50 phone calls a day. She's doing 4, 5, 6 meetings per week via Zoom, in person, networking events. She's doing her thing. She's attending trainings and getting better every day. They say 1% better a day, right? What if you only got 1% better a month? 12% better per year. What if you were 12% more confident every year? That's not a big number, 1% a month, right? What if your sales skills were 12% better per year? Your self-confidence, public speaking skills were all 12% better per year. See, the average person is 1% a month. Are you crazy? That's nothing. They don't realize the power of the compound effect. That's why we do events like what we do. That's why we do this every Monday. You got to come in here every single Monday. People that already did it. This weekend, there's people that did it already. I'm right there learning from Sam Bean, learning from Ed Ayala, learning from the Pachecos, from Mr. Navarro. I'm learning. I'm so grateful while I'm there because I'm like, man, I'm learning so much and my team is learning so much. Does that make sense? So executive 25, and she wants to be an executive director by this time this year. Her goal, executive 25, executive director. Executive director, 70 installs within her organization, 70 installs in a 60-day period. So she'll be making on the low end about 20 grand a month.
on the low end as an executive director. And she'll be making 25 G's in residual income from her subscribers. So on the low end, she's at 45. On the high end as an executive director, it could be as high as 100 grand. Okay. Income disclaimer. These are hypothetical numbers, right? We don't know. It could vary. Does that make sense? So, and by the way, the reason why I do that, guys, is you have to be very cautious about protecting the company. Don't make crazy claims. Don't say this water cures cancer. You'll get the company shut down. One of the things that's going to be in the back office soon, it's going to be a disclaimer that you signed that you can't say certain things, right? That way, if the company ever, if the FTC ever comes back and says, hey, your people say, no, we train on this, it's recorded. We have people sign this document that say they cannot say that. If you get caught saying stuff like that are not true, you can't make medical claims. Nobody can make medical claims. Main reason is because they lose money. Like there's a bunch, I believe there's a bunch of cures for a lot of things. This is a side subject, but there's no money in the cure. The money's in the comeback. By the way, that's a line from Chris Rock in the 90s. And it's so true. Anyways, enough of these conspiracies, right? So the point is you got executive 25 and executive director, double executive by then. So awesome job. Let's go with Idris.
Yeah, this morning
I'm gonna put the AC up. So keep going.
This morning I was thinking about everything that happened this past weekend, and I was putting some goals together. And basically, my goal is to leave here for the next convention. I'm familiar with how conventions are operated, so I was thinking that there might be some rings given out. So my goal is to make 100,000, 100,000 from the solar sales side. That's almost in the bag, already in the bag. But also build the 8,000, so it could be another 100,000 on top of that residually, and also have 100 people at the event. So basically, project 100.
I love it. Oh, project. That's one thing that we didn't mention at the event that I wish we did. We will have, when you earn $100,000, doesn't matter from what, it can be from personal sales, mentor sales, all of it combined, total income. When you get to 100,000 within a 12-month period, you're gonna get your $100,000 ring. Pretty good. We're gonna have the build. You see that little, you guys know that in that build, the little circle, the BYLD is all in there.
Oh, nice. This.
Yeah. Who sees it?
Yeah, it's like the yellow, right?
If you don't see it, raise your hand. Let me see it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So let me show you.
Oh,
here's a B.
Oh,
here's lowercase b. Here's a Y. Here's a L. And here's a D.
Wow.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
You guys didn't know that.
No.
Who did not know that?
I know.
Pretty cool, right?
You know now.
See, there's a lot of things about the company that's pretty cool. Like who learned about Oncore?
That's why we come to these trainings to learn stuff like that.
Exactly. But who learned about Oncore this weekend? I did, right? That was probably.
So I was gonna ask you. How did you come up with Encore now?
Yeah.
Everything got meaning to it.
Yes, everything has a meaning to it, right? Even build your life's dreams, build your life's downline. There's a couple of a lot of cool acronyms that go with build. So, but anyways, what was I saying before that?
The
$100,000 rings. So the ring will have that build circle in the middle, and it'll have the Oncore. You see the O, the Oncore, right? It's got an O and a C in there, and it also looks like a turn on button, like on, right? So to have that on the side as well, and they'll say $100,000 on the other side. When you get to $250,000, you get a $250,000 ring.
Is it gonna be female and male?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I I did female one.
Yep.
No one that's big.
Yeah. Then it'll be $500,000 and $1 million. So yeah, 100,000, $250,000, $500,000, and $1 million. So we're gonna be giving those rings out in Las Vegas. So imagine coming up here, $100,000 earner, $250,000 earner. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Interest he already has 100,000 locked in the bank. But I think by the end of the year, this guy would have earned 100,000 in the track he's on. Same thing with Lewis. Lewis is gonna get that $100,000 ring by then as well. A lot of you guys are really close to that. Like I know that by then, we're gonna look back last 12 months. Do you make 100 grand last 12 months? Yes. Right. Any 12-month period is it is right. So that's exciting. So, yo, bro, what are some of your goals that you have by this time next year, bro?
I'll just throw this out there. I'm a very competitive person and I go straight to the top.
I love it. I love it. That's good. And you just got started, so I know that you still got to learn more about the complex.
Technically, I'm starting November 1st, but I already paid for everything.
Perfect, perfect. Amelia?
I want to build a team.
Good.
I don't have a lot of time because of my kids, like to go and do a lot of the solar stuff. So I feel like building a team would be for me.
Okay, good. So where do you want to be rank wise? It could be builder 500, it could be builder 1,000 by this time next year.
Builder 500.
Okay, good, good. What about you?
I want to be at builder 1,000.
Good.
And obviously have a team at least of 2.
Perfect. That's an extra $1,000 per month residual income, and check this out for them. Let's do some simple math. Let's say that 2 people on your team that you brought, made 2 sales a year. 2 sales a year, right? That's an extra $1,200 and $1,200. That's an extra $2,400 for the year, right? $1,200. No, that's an extra 2 sales. Yeah, that's an extra $2,400 for the year. So you're at $1,000 a month plus an extra $12,000 a year plus an extra $2,400. You're at about $15,000 per year, right? In extra part-time income. What would it take at somebody's job to get a $12,000 to $15,000 raise a year?
Man,
lifetime.
Yeah, lifetime.
Yeah, that's tough to do. Right? What about you, Bob?
I'm Robert Ochoa. My uncle's been in this business for a couple months now.
Yep.
That was my first training, mentor factory, and I was trying to get in the group chat to raise my hand. I didn't know how to do it. I'm not that tech savvy.
That's right.
So I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the guys, how they have the energy, flowing. And yeah, I learned so much, but like I said, I'm not very familiar with everything, but I'm trying to be builder 1,000. Maybe have 50 people, 30 to 50 people at the Vegas. Yep. So
good, perfect. And I know that he's just getting started, so he doesn't know the comp line yet. So we'll show you what that looks like. That way you have a better idea. Yes, sir. Thank you. Eric?
So I will be at builder 4,000 and my goal is to be a director by then.
That's good goals. Okay, good. Thank you. Louis?
yeah. Well, I do want to begin with I do want to touch on it, but not too much. But the last company, every time I would log into my portal, I wouldn't do it automatic. I would punch in my goal, 100K. Every time I log on, 100K. And it took me more than 1 year. It took me 2 years to make that in the last company. So this one, we're on track to be a little bit faster. My goal is to be builder 8,000 and to have about 20 to 25 people in Vegas.
Nice.
So just for clarification, that's not his password anymore, guys.
I know what it is now. Actually is. But it has different. The word Bitcoin is crazy.
Yeah.
So mine's
Oh,
still
nice.
complicated.
Tell us more.
So your next password is gonna get updated.
So what rank will you be by then?
Builder 8,000.
Okay, builder 8,000. And how many people will you have there?
I'm gonna aim for 20 people.
Okay, good. David?
As you know, I just reset my business, obviously, came from the conventional theater model. I couldn't build there, obviously. So my goal is to drive the system. Systems, people fail, systems don't.
Yep.
So after seeing from outside coming in, looking in, and then going to the mentor factory, it just kind of opened up my eye, my third eye a little bit more. So my goal is to be like 25 people over there. Director with the water sales, but I came from the water. Yep. So I'm gonna execute that. Your boy Obi was freaking amazing, dude. Show and tell. You get the best show and tell, you're gonna smash it, right? Yeah. Level up on that game and on the solar game. 150K by that American 50K. And then build 8,000.
Awesome. I love it. So with David?
Everybody saying 8,000.
You go based on your numbers.
I have your director with sales, builder 4,000. However, if Erica achieves her goal, her builder 4,000, I ought to be at 8,000. That will boost me up, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Hey, now you gotta hold your account.
Yes, 100%. I want to get the $100,000 ring. That's by convention. And I intend to have 20 to 25 people in.
I love it.
At the event.
I love it. And see, as you start to grow, you start to get good at working with your teams and seeing who your core people are. How many people here, for example, like no BS, okay? If you're not, it doesn't matter because it takes time to get there. Who knows what core means? Okay, who doesn't know what core means? Raise your hand if you don't know what core means. Here's what core means. Somebody who's core is somebody who's committed and consistent to following the system and talking to people on a daily basis. Following the 8-point system, generating at least 8 points a day. Even if you're part-time, core doesn't mean full-time. It can be part-time. It could even be spare time. Now 4 hours a day, I got an hour or two a day. But you're committed to generating 8 points a day. You have made that 5-year commitment. 5-year commitment where I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to follow the system, whether it's part-time, spare time, or full-time. Following the system, and I'm not going to quit, and I'm going to go and follow the system for 5 years. Somebody that I don't have to remind, let that guy in, please. Somebody that doesn't have to get reminded to get on the Millionaire Mentorship Zoom, on the trainings. If you're not working and this time slot's available, you're here. Those people, let me tell you something. If you have this time spot available and you're not here, you're not core, dude. Does that make sense? Sir. Because we can make a lot of excuses to why we can't make it to this train. And some you will not be able to make. There's sometimes that I don't make it. And the reason why I don't make it is like the way that I keep the Sabbath. It's religion's reasons. It's never an excuse. It's never an excuse. Never. And when you see me miss this, it'll be 4 weeks in a row. You better believe on week 5, I'm back here. Whether one of you is here, nobody's here, or it's a full room like today. I'm always going to be here. Right? So keep that in mind. Now, if I thought different, I'd have different people running these all the time, and I'm the one that's running them all the time. I could go play pickleball right now if I wanted to, and I have somebody, run this meeting for me. But no, I gotta lead by example. So do you guys understand what core is? Yeah. Following the system, 5-year commitment, makes it to the trainings, their camera's on, they made a 5-year commitment to generate 8 points a day, and they're at every convention, every big event. Does that mean that there is an exception? Sometimes it can be made? No, of course. Sometimes my son got sick, can't make it to the event. That makes sense. We have somebody, Angel, one of the most committed people in the entire company by far. She last minute couldn't make it to the event. Her babysitter for her 3 kids, last minute bailed on her. Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff happens. Do you think I'm gonna eat her lunch for it? No, I know she's core. There's no question about she's core. So I teach, become core, then keep building your business. Then eventually you identify, boom, core person. You identify core person. You identify core person. And when let me tell you something. Once you get to a point where you have 5 core people on your team, in the dual team especially, divided amongst 2 or more teams. Let's say I personally recruited Amelia and I personally recruited Idris, let's say, right? And they're both core. That's 2 different teams because I personally recruited her, personally recruited him. But what if I recruited him, who brought Brenda, and Brenda brought Amelia, and they're all core? That's good, but that's all core on one team. You need 2 teams in both comp lines to go to the top. You need 2 teams. You guys follow? Mm-hmm. So you become core, and you identify 5 core people. 5 people say, hey, bro, I'm in this to win this. I'm going to the top. When I got ups and downs, I'm still here. They're doing the personal development. That's core. Is that clear? Yeah. Great. How many people would honestly consider themselves today, right now? This is a big commitment, by the way. This is not something to play with. In our industry and in our company, saying that you're core when you're not core is extremely disrespectful. It's kind of like, you guys know what stolen honor is in the military? Yeah. Stolen valor or stolen honor, one of those. Well, anyways, it's when somebody wears a military uniform and they're not in the military. That is a huge no-no. Matter of fact, I think that's like probably a felony. Yeah, so bad. Like somebody that's not a black belt that says he's a black belt in martial arts. That's so bad, so bad.
Like people will beat you up and that's the wrong people that you want to beat you up. Let's say you go around, you put on a black belt and you're not really a black belt, they'll literally beat you up. It's that freaking bad. That's what core is here. Now that I got that out of the way, and I made it clear. By the way, we're not gonna beat you. Clear. Nobody's gonna beat nobody else. Nobody's gonna beat nobody else.
Warming up the leg. Warming up.
Yeah, warming up the roundhouse.
Walking to your car, you know?
Question mark kicker.
Who would consider themselves right now today to be core? By show of hands.
I am.
Right now.
Yes.
Right now today. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay.
I am.
Tony. Good. Okay. That so just so you guys know what that means. This here should be filled. Raise your hand if you're core. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna count you because you guys are not local, but for this meeting. But you guys can keep your hand up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There should always be 8 people in this meeting every month. How many people are going to be there? At least 8. at least 9, 10, 11. At least 11, because Amelia and Jessica are going to be here. There you go. Sometimes. But do you guys see where I'm coming from? That's what that means. Like, how many people generate their 8 points a day? I'm going to say from the office, at least 8. How many people bought their ticket to the event? Well, I can tell you from the office, at least 8. Who here already bought the ticket to Las Vegas? That's what a core person does. A core person, they say, here's the next event. They don't think about, if I'm going to go, should I get the pre-sale ticket? They buy it and they go the next day.
Hey, like Johnny said, man, it was so much value. Just that mentor factor. I feel like we owe some money.
Yeah.
So you know,
that's what it's
it's
about.
a no-brainer for the next event.
But you guys have to understand a couple of things, right? This is, I'm going to say something a little controversial. What we have here, not only in our company, in other companies, I think we have it even better here. But here's what we have. We have a community that's unlike anything you've experienced out there. For example, the commitment to excellence and the commitment to training and personal development. For example, when you learn self-confidence, where else were you taught self-confidence? Did your teachers in high school teach you self-confidence? What about public speaking skills? What about the stuff that's taught in the Smart Money Club? How to be your own bank, how to retire tax free. There's people that don't realize that they could be their own bank, finance their own car. And let's say, for example, I finance my own car and I earn interest on that money, even if I took the money out for the car and I pay myself back. This is stuff that even your teachers in school and university don't know. For example, the difference between an IUL and a 401k. One is taxed, one is not taxed. One is guaranteed not to lose money. The other one is susceptible to the market. You guys realize that there's things that the wealthy know? You think the wealthy have their money in a 401k? No. Hell no. And guess what? That information is suppressed on purpose. It's suppressed on purpose. So this is the kind of stuff we teach people. Hey, build a business, part-time or full-time, build a business, residual income, passive income, leverage income. Some people say, I don't like leverage income. I like making money on my friends and family. Question. Do your friends and family have a job? Most of the time, the answer is yes. You know that their boss is making money off. Everybody is making somebody money. You guys realize where I'm coming from? Yeah. There's no such thing as job security. That day is dead and gone. Back 50 years ago, there existed a day where you worked for a company for 50 years, you retired with a pension and retirement and a gold watch, and you were sent off to enjoy your retirement. That day has been long gone. People need an opportunity. So we teach people how to build a business. And guess what? In building a business, you learn how to sell, you learn personal development. And you know what? An average person that's never been exposed to a business like this, and some of those people that are so negative about this industry, tried this industry, didn't attend training, didn't try, failed, then they talk bad about it. But here's a funny thing. That exists with any business. That exists with anything. My son goes to jiu-jitsu school. There's some negative reviews. Not that many, but there's a couple negative reviews. Their kids showed up, started training, got hurt. Oh, it's the worst school in the world. No, dude, you're doing a physical sport, it's a martial arts. When you sign up your kid for something like that, there's a chance they get hurt. Does that make sense? Yeah. My son was training last weekend. Last week on Thursday, I think it was, and he submitted this kid. And the kid, it was called a kimura, where you put the arm like this, right? So the kid was grabbing her gi. So my son is pulling it, and once she lets go of the grip, as you can imagine, she's holding it here, he's pulling it that way. When the grip breaks, what happens? Her arm goes extra fast. That's happened to my son before. He felt terrible. You know what I mean? The dad is my friend. He knew. Luckily we both were there to see. We know anybody. So I teach him. If you're losing the grip and they're about to submit you, you tap before you lose the grip. If not, your arm. That's what we sign up for. But there's always going to be people that complain because of stuff like that. Does that make sense? So people say, because I have people tell me this. Oh, JC, they're brainwashing. I go to my mentor. Some of you guys heard me say the story. Let that last guy in. They're brainwashing you. I go to my mentor and say, hey, you know what some of these friends of mine said? What'd they say? He says that I'm getting brainwashed here. So I'm expecting for him to say something along the lines of, no, but listen, no, here's what it is. And he goes, oh God, your friend's right. Yeah. What? He said, of course. Would you rather be brainwashed by a millionaire or brainwashed by your average friends and family? That guy that criticized that you're being brainwashed, does he have the lifestyle that you would like to have? No, he's broke and unhappy in his marriage. Why would you listen to that guy? Yes, we are brainwashing you because for 14,000 hours, you were taught to be average. You were taught to be a fault finder, right? Right answer, right answer, right answer, right answer, wrong answer, circled and read by your teacher. You're taught to be a fault finder. I was taught, for example, this is true. In the beginning, I had a poster on the wall of a Lamborghini when I was in elementary school. Junior high, that Lamborghini got switched out to a Corvette. By the end of high school, it wasn't a Corvette, it was a V6 Ford Mustang. Blue one. Somebody along the way said, JC, Juan. Then he called me JC. He said, Juan, okay, good. They said, Juan, people around here, they don't drive those kind of cars. That's not doable. A teacher said that. Man, if my teacher says some crap like that to my son, you better believe there's gonna be some furniture moving around in that teacher's class. Right? Don't you ever tell my son limitations because you choose to do a noble job. I respect teachers, it's a noble job, but you don't dream big. Don't put your beliefs on my children. It's me as a parent that's going to put my beliefs in the children, which, by the way, that's another thing that's happening in public schools. They're putting their indoctrination, crazy beliefs on children. Fuck yeah, you better talk to your children and you educate your children on your values, not a system's values, by the way. Anyways, enough of that particular rant. So my point is this, the environment that this creates is, yes, it's different. You will start to grow, you will start to clash with some of your beliefs of other people on business, on money. Right there, how many of you guys have family members that think that money's a root of all evil? I do too. It's crazy how things get taken out of context. Does that make sense? Let's say I say to David. Oh, there's kids. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I already know what's coming. David, you're a son of a bee. Right? You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? Earmuffs over here, right? Let's say somebody goes and takes what I said. Man, JC's such an a-hole. You know what he said to somebody? He said, you're a son of a. Somebody says, he said, what? I'm telling you all that. Is that taken out of context?
Yeah.
That's one of my pet peeves. I hate when people take things out of context. It's one of the worst human being traits in the world when somebody takes something out of context. It really gets me angry, right? Look at this guy, he's doing push-ups. He's getting so So check this out. So what I'm saying is this, all right, let's focus, let's refocus. What was I saying right before that? I was leading somewhere with that. Do you guys remember what I was saying?
When people take things out of context.
Yeah, before that.
Posters on the wall of cars?
Yeah, the posters on the wall.
Brainwashing.
After that, it was before this and after that.
Brainwashing, the brainwashing.
After that. The Mustang. Yeah, you gotta try, and I appreciate you guys trying. Pickleball. I'll try to remember, right? But my point is this. People will take things out of context that are done in this business, right? And that's an example of what I just said, with David. And people take things out of context sometimes that we say, right? So I'm trying to find where I left off, but whatever. I'm gonna just go to wrapping this up. Did we go through everybody's No, not yet. We were at Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
This time next year, looking to be at Builder 500 or Builder 5,000.
4,000.
8,000.
8,000, good.
And going for that 100K range.
Okay, good.
Looking to bring at least 20 to 30 people.
Good. Now, here's the deal. All of you guys saying Builder 8,000. That means you got to go into recruiting mode. You go on the field and door knock. You got to put about that kind of effort to building your business, to talking to people the way you did at Mentor Factory. That's going to be a normal thing. That's $8,000 a month residual income. That is not, even though with us it's a lot easier than traditional companies. Yeah. I'm going to put something into perspective. Watch this. I got the markers. How many of you guys have seen traditional network marketing companies that sell weight loss teas, coffees, Herbalife, that kind of stuff? Check this out. This is called the binary compensation plan. So Builder 8,000 is 240 memberships on the left, 240 memberships on the right. You have a left team and a right team. These are subscriptions. Subs, right? $99 membership. Why do people pay $99 membership? For the Smart Money Club, the Build Rewards out, the travel discounts. Let me tell you what the Build, I mentioned it on the call here shortly, and I'm going to wrap up in 10 minutes. I mentioned on the call earlier. The Smart Money Club and the Build membership is going to turn into what it all is now, but in addition to that, it's going to turn into the Entrepreneur University, which would be like the Netflix of personal development and professional development. Certification courses that are 1 to 3 hours long of bite-sized videos, like 3 to 6 minute videos with a questions. So let's say public speaking course certification, hour and a half long, average 5-minute videos followed by questions. You got to get these 3 questions right in order to open up the next video. Then whatever you learn there, because it can't be that long. It's a lot to recall, right? So 3 to 6 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes average, followed by questions. And so it forces you to learn. You're not just going through and multitasking, washing the dishes. No, you got to learn the stuff, pay attention, because you're going to get quizzed in 3 to 4 minutes. You guys follow? So imagine that kind of course on public speaking, on how to develop self-confidence, on how to become an expert salesperson, how to follow up. I mentioned self-confidence, leadership development. Even if somebody has a job and say, I got my Build certification on leadership, here's a course that I taught and I passed, and here's my certificate. Every course will come with a certificate. So instead of binge watching Netflix, why don't you learn how to become a better salesperson? Why don't you take certification on leadership level 1, 2, and 3? There'll be, by the way, some of them, there's so much content, there'll be certification 1, 2, and 3 on leadership. Does that make sense? Certification on money management. Is that important stuff? Yeah. How to manage your money? All of that stuff. I mean, and there's a wealth of things that are going to be taught in that course. So is it going to be worth $100 a month? Refer for, pay no more? Damn right. That alone, we could create a company around that only by itself. Oh, and guess what? That will be a service that's going to take us international. People around the world are going to be able to buy that membership because it's virtual. See, a lot of these companies, you look at Herbalife and a lot of these companies, Amway, they're around the world. Some of my friends have been to 50 countries building a network marketing business. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's going to be the one that takes over. And imagine somebody in England, in Germany, in different countries that are that, but they still override their teams that are making sales in America for water, security, and solar. They make these huge American overrides from the high ticket sales that we sell here. Do you guys see the vision? Yeah. It's gonna get bananas, man. We're built today. We're gonna announce more details on Build Her. We're gonna have a certification course. You guys know we have some powerful women. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Got the Pachecos, Mrs. Pacheco, Mrs. Bean, right? We got the ladies here. You see, they got their Build Her hats. Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be group of women, Brenda, right? Group of women that are come together to train other women on how to be entrepreneurs. Like Roxy's a rock star trader. She has a bunch of students, right? Now you're gonna be able to attract women because of stuff like that. Does that make sense? So your subscriptions are gonna grow, right? So you're gonna be able to have these short videos that show people the entrepreneur university. It'll be like a university. So when you go through everything, like how to set up your corporation, that's already stuff in the Smart Money Club, right? How to be a real business. Oh, now I got my business, how to get access to capital. There's a course on that. Not only a course on that, but you got the resources of how to reach out to them. They'll say, here's what you need to do, Idris. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to tie it to your personal credit because we got to build the credit of your corporation first. Boom, boom, boom. Then we got the banks already that'll lend you from 10 to $500,000. I'm telling you, it's a lot of work that's going to be done. That's what we do on the back end, guys. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing. So that's a subscription, right? So check this out. When you get to 240 members on the left and the right on the $99 membership, you're making how much? $8,000 a month. $8,000 a month. And by the way, the beautiful thing about this is this. Everybody only has left and right. So let's say this is Johnny. And Johnny puts 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He could only put them on the left or the right. So when he recruits another person, it has to go help either these guys, or that new person has to go here, help either these guys. So it's not 240 people that you yourself built. It's people from above you. If they put people on your team, that counts towards your 240. And the people from your team, as they're building their teams, that counts towards your 240. Okay? So this is called a binary compound, and we call it a dual team because it's different. Check this out. Let's say this was Herbalife type of company. There's so many. These are $99 memberships, right? I'm going to show you. This is super accurate what I'm going to tell you. Matter of fact, I'm doing them a favor. I'm giving them more credit than they deserve. Now, let's say it's a service or a product that's $99. Let's say healthy coffee or tea or something, right? And let's say they say you got to buy $99 worth of this product, whatever the product or service is. That is qualified volume. They call it QV, and then there's CV, commissionable volume. So the qualified volume to help hit the rank is a 99. The commissionable volume is between 50, half, and 70%. So these would count as $70 in commissionable volume. So the way that the binary traditional network marketing companies pay you is they pay you 10% through 20% of the lesser volume team. So let's put these into perspective. Let's say you have 1,000 members here paying $99 a month. That's 70 points each. You guys follow? That's 70,000. You guys follow?
Yes.
$70,000 in commissionable volume. It's also more complicated. Like there's QV and CV. It's like what, you know what I mean? It's here, dude. You need 240 builders. You're there, dude. Okay, so they make it real complicated to stuff, but I'm going to show you the difference. You guys ever heard of Modere? These skincare MLM companies, Secret, Roland Fields. There's a lot of companies out there, right? So check it out. So you got 1,000 members here. That's 70,000 commissionable volume. 1,000 members here. 70,000 commissionable volume. If that particular binary pays 10%, you'd make 10% of this would be $7,000. 240 and 240, that's 480. Here's that's 2,000 versus 480. You guys follow? You need 2,000 people versus 480 to make less than what we make here. Now, let's say it's a high binary. Let's say it's 3,500 people. Let's call it 4,000. 4,000 and 4,000. What's 4,000 times 70? Equals 4,200? No. 2,800? Yeah. 28. So it's 28,000. 28,000 commissionable volume and 28,000 commissionable volume. What's
20% of 28,000. 56. So that'd be 5,600. With 4,000 people, 280,000.
4,000.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I meant 400. 400. Sorry. So I'm trying to do half of this, less than half of that. So this would be 5,600. So even if they paid 20% with 400 people here and 400 people here, instead of 240 and 240, you're still not at the 8,000. So you need what? Let's see, 5,000 times 70 points, commissionable points. That equals 3,500, 35,000, right? Yeah, 35,000. 20% of 35,000 is $7,000, right? So even with 500 people on the left team and 500 people on the right team, with a $99 monthly commitment, they're paying you $7,000. That's double what we require. That's double what we require. So what I'm saying is this: the comp plan that we have, ladies and gentlemen, pays significantly more. You would need double or triple in a traditional network marketing company. Part of the reason why is this. Part of the reason is our services are virtual. What they call, for example, if we were selling you products, which is good, products are good. That product has a hard cost, plus delivery, storage. We don't have none of it. We pay a fraction for the service because they're digital services. Does that make sense? So we're able to pay a lot more. And there's other reasons why too that I won't get into here because I'm going to make it too complicated. But just know, you want to get to $8,000 per month. That's what it takes. Mark, I stopped at you. It's a real commitment, bro. It's not I'm going to say it because it sounds good because other people are saying it. No. It's a serious commitment. You got to decide that you're going to talk to more people daily. And the way you're going to build your business, if you want to build a residual side, if you just want to focus on sales, that's cool. You got all the sales training. You don't have to build a team. You guys know that. I'm sharing this with Mark because he wants to be a builder 8,000. You got to decide to level up. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you got to be promoting to get people on there. You got to be willing to get a gang of rejection for recruiting or selling. And you got to be okay with it. Some of you guys get some rejection. Here's how you start. I'm not saying that this is a script, but let's just pretend. Hey, interest, you open to making some more money? Tell me no. Everybody tell me no. Hey, man, you interested in making some more money? Hey, you interested in making some more money? No. No? You wouldn't be happen to be interested in making more money, would you? That's what happens to you. You start off strong. Then as you start to get no's, it starts to get weaker and weaker and weaker. Here's the difference. Big builders, doesn't matter. 100 person, they still got the same energy as the first person. Because what if this guy, now I'm like, hey, you wouldn't happen to be, he would have been. Had I been, hey, let me ask you something, bro. You're super sharp. You know, I'm expanding my business in this area. Was you happy to keep your income options open? Because you seem real sharp, you look like the kind of person who would keep. That approach might get this guy to say to me, as a matter of fact, I am. But because you're going with no posture, guess what happens? That person's like, no. Some of you guys aren't going to recruit. You know why? Because you care what other people think. Oh, my Aunt Mary tried Amway back in the 80s and failed. She hates network marketing, and therefore so do I. I inherited the hate for the industry. Because somebody, and the funny thing is that sometimes some of these people that give you their opinions are not successful financially. Like you want to be, yet you listen to them. That's where yes, we do brainwash people. We tell you, look, doesn't it make sense to pay attention to people that have what you want in that category? Does that make sense? Yes. Yes. David's a great dad, right? So is a lot of people here. Matthew. Let's say Matthew was negative about the business. I wouldn't pay attention to him about the business. But if he gave me advice on being a father, I'd listen because he has credibility in that area, right? Well, but people don't pay attention to that. So that's what I'm telling you. You're going to go and get no's when you're prospecting for water, for solar security, for sales. And you're going to get no's when you go and recruit people. And guess what? Doesn't matter. Because guess what? There's a lot of people. We proved the mental factor. You guys see how many people came back with leads? Who came back with leads at Mentor Factory? Raise your hand if you came back with leads. That
Houses selling shirts.
Oh, yeah, she was selling shirts. So check this out. Because guess what? Somebody told you, and you're in an environment, you're like, fine, I'm gonna go do it. Then you got other people that are doing it. What are you gonna do when you're not in an environment, you're not around those people? That's when you know that your identity is growing. Because it doesn't matter who's going and who's not. I'm going. My brother puts on social media sometimes. 2 friends that wanted to go work out canceled on me. I'm still here. That's how I am too. I don't even ask people to go work out anymore. I just go myself. I don't care, because the world is full of flakers and temporary motivated people. You got a tremendous opportunity. We all have a tremendous opportunity. And look, I'll say this. People on Zoom and people here, I'm going to wrap this up with this. There's a lot of ways. They say there's a million ways to make $1 million. I believe it. There's a lot of ways to make extra money and to make passive income or residual income. Maybe our way, our company is not the right company and right fit for you. And that's okay. But I'm going to give you a heart-to-heart advice. Find a way to make more money fast and to make residual passive income. Even if it's not with us. Because I'll tell you this. Some of you guys, I'm going to say the following. You know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys, you need to do some homework. By 2030, it'll be a lot harder for you to do it. And you should right now have goals to make more money, make a passive income, build a business that you could work remote from anywhere in the world. Preferably with subscribers that pays you residual income. Look at how much money Netflix makes. How much money Amazon makes. You know what it is? Subscribers. You guys are subscribers. We're more subscribers now than ever before. You have a subscriber business. You're a consumer of subscriptions. Right now, more than ever before, the way AI is going, you better build a business that if you wanted to move to Canada or Mexico or Thailand, not only do you still get paid, but you could work remotely from wherever you want. And I guarantee you, I believe that by 2030, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, man, I wish I took those times seriously. I think there's a big opportunity. I think we're in a very interesting time in history. And for me, I tell people that are core, I say, you should have a goal to make millions in the next 5 years. At least a couple million. What if you take those couple million, you invest in a couple of rental properties, and you set yourself up pretty good. And along the way, you learn how to manage your money properly, how to retire tax-free. Would that be worth it? Yes. But most people here, you're not getting outside of your comfort zone enough, man. Most of you guys here are in first gear and you got 6 gears, and you're in first gear and you think you only got 2 gears. You're in first gear and you think that the next gear is what you've got to give. And you're like, I'm not giving it the second gear, and you got 6 gears and you don't even know it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You guys don't even know, like there's a guy who followed David Goggins. Anybody know David Goggins? Oh, yeah. He talks about his story, how he was running and his shins were splitting on this long run, right? He says, you know what I realized there? I realized that when we think that we've given it all that we've got and we've got no more, and that's the end of it, that we're only at 40% of what we could actually give. When you got to the point of that's it, I've got no more. You've only given about 40%. You have a lot more to give than you think that you do. It's like then you start to unlock these levels of yourself. I'm telling you because I remember 15 years ago being in a place where I started to realize, oh snap, I didn't know that I was capable of this. I didn't know I was capable of building such a big business. I didn't know I was capable. I remember when I was in 28, 29, and I have 40 and 50-year-olds telling me how I inspired them, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I remember I had real estate brokers that would come to me and say, bro, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for your teaching me. I'm 28, 29 years old. And I was like, I would have never imagined this caliber of person tell me these things. Now that I'm 41, it makes a little bit more sense, right? Because grown ass man, you know what I'm saying? But at 28, 29, and 30, then at 30, I made my first $1 million in a year. Then I believed in more. Because it's hard not to believe when you make $1 million, right? Right. But I started unlocking so many things, even the whole owning my own company. It took me years to say, I'm ready for that. Wences told me that when we were in our 20s. I was 29, he was 28. He said, in our 40s, we will be the guys. I know for a fact back then I wasn't the guy. It was levels that I needed to unlock, right? Here's the problem. You gotta believe bigger, faster. You gotta believe that there's these other levels to unlock. And how do you unlock them? By the activities that you do daily. Every single day, there are decisions throughout the day. You gotta click on the right decisions more throughout the day. Some of you guys are clicking on one right decision a day, like coming here. And that's the only right decision you're gonna make today. I got 16 follow-up calls with realtors because I got a caller in Mexico. A good decision is to block out an hour and call those 16, isn't it? Yep. Or I could scroll for 5 minutes here and 10 minutes here. Before you know, I just wasted an hour on scrolling on social media. Does that make sense? Or doing other stuff that's not. So when you become that leader, you start to make more right decisions. And some of those are just the attitude that you decide to have after a no, after a fallen sale. So I hope that you guys got some value from today. This went longer than I thought it would. We're gonna wrap it up. Let's go with Roxy and whoever we missed, and then after them, we're done. Where are you gonna be a year from now? How many people are you gonna have at the convention? Roxy.
Executive 45 and 100 people are there.
I love it. Who else? Who's running? Matt.
Same. Well, first off, I'm getting a $100,000 ring at the convention there. And then this time next year, saying 25, executive 25. And then I'm gonna have I'm shooting for 25 people at the convention.
Okay, good. Yeah. Did I miss anybody?
I can go.
Okay, go. We'll have you go, and then we'll wrap it up.
2025 convention, $100,000 ring, 20 builders present. October 1st, 2025 executive 25, 1,000 each leg, and executive director, 100 direct builders, and a team of 1,000 builders.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing. All right, anybody? Let's do a roll call on sales. Any sales recruits wins from last week to now?
Well, I had a recruit right there. Well, he signed up right.
Oh, and while we were at Mentor Factory, he had Builder 500. Yeah, you got to recruit them?
Well, just that one, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been working on it for 3 weeks. And finally, just that day, it's just being at Mentor Factory, you know?
Right. Perfect.
You know, 3 weeks, finally, I seen the group chat come up because I signed up one of his other guys with him so that way he could sign up him. And so it was a 2-for-1 on that one.
Good, good.
Can I say something real quick
Yes.
about that? Never give up on following up. One of my guys who is Barry Overton, who's an EXP realtor, has about 100 EXP members under him. He's been building that. And I didn't give up on him. You know, I continued and followed up. It took me about, I would say, 3 months. But I didn't give up on him. And he was here at the event. Brought one of the guys with him, also that is a builder. And we're all like, wish ready to rock and roll in Colorado. So don't give up, keep going, follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. Trust me.
How many people?
Don't forget your 3-way.
Yep. How many people in his team does he have in EXP?
100.
100 realtors in his EXP team. How long did you follow up on him for?
For about 3 months. And
Most people don't do that.
Yeah, he's about to open up in San Francisco. So I was also thinking about moving I'm between Houston and LA right now, but because I need this. I also need this, you know.
I'd rather you come to LA.
And that's why Mr. Sam says too, come to Houston. So
Flip a coin.
yeah, I'm working on it. So don't give up, guys. Just keep following up, follow up. You never know when you're gonna hit that. And just like, you know, I was a network marketer before. I actually did Amway. I did OG. So you never know who you're gonna find, and people are ready. We know about this, and we know how much money we made in the past. And if once you show them this, they understand the system. It's going to be a brain opener, and they'll come.
Network marketers see this comp plan. They've never seen anything like it. I guarantee you.
No,
I'm telling you, I've got 21 years experience here. One last thing I'll tell you: 500 club takes 10 and 10, right? You know how much 10 and 10 in any of these other emblem companies would make them in this comp plan? That's 70 points on average. That's generous for them. Be 700 points here, 700 points here. Here we make 500, right? Right there, you make 10% of the 700 points. How much is that? You make a $70 check.
Yeah.
When you make 500 here. If they pay a 20% buy there, you make 140. And you make 500 here. I'm telling you, The reason why the percentages aren't as good on the bigger numbers is because we can't pay as much on the bigger numbers because we're paying so much to the new people. We make builder 500 easy, 10 and 10, man. It's not that hard. Refer for pay no more, help them do likewise. You're a 500 club member. And if you just duplicate 500 club members, some of them are going to quit. Some of them are going to have one guy that quits. They're going to get discouraged. They're going to quit. That's going to happen. That's a part of the game. You look at a basketball team in high school, ninth graders. Bunch of ninth graders are excited. Most of those ninth graders are still going to be there year 12 in the school. Most of them are not going to be on the varsity team. It's going to dwindle down. That's how anything works. I mentioned the example of the gym all the time. January, all these people. March, this many people. Can we agree? Yep. You got to know that ahead of time. So when people quit on you, oh, I knew people were going to quit. You're one of those that quit. That's cool. But if you're a core, you're always prospecting customers and you're always prospecting people that are open. Right? It's all from a career path. Okay. So any other sales or recruits that we need to recognize? Okay.
Got one sale over the weekend. Got an install that took place and got a referral from that install. And
all right, I'm gonna have you repeat all of them. Oh. So just hold on. All right, so what was it, Idris?
Got one new sale over the weekend and also had an install that also gave me another referral as well.
Well, time to ring the bell, dog. Came all the way from New York to ring the bell. Yeah. Anybody else?
New recruit, not a sale, I got a new recruit last week.
What was it?
New recruit, new builder. Got a new builder in the house.
And a new sale, you said?
No.
Okay.
Let me erase that.
Say that one. Good job, bro. Anybody else?
Quick win.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so I generated 2 solar appointments last week. One sat on Sunday. And I also got a really nice lead from a friend of mine from Illinois. He met a pilot. He also works for UPS. He met a pilot who has solar in California, whose neighbor wants to go solar. So now this pilot is going to put me in touch with his neighbor here in California so we can do a quote.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Good round of applause. Anybody else? Okay, I got a sale last week too, so I'm gonna ring the bell. Solar sale. That was actually my wife's lead. One of her friends from the gym says, "Hey, my brother's getting a solar quote from another company. You do solar, right?" Yeah. So we went to his house, closed a deal, and actually no, I closed 2 deals. Yeah. During the weekend, Juana signed. I presented both deals closed actually. So let me ring the bell one more time. I forgot. I even put on the chat, Juana. Did you see that?
Juana.
Yeah. So do you know she signed all docs already?
I think the docs are still, I think they were signed, it just needs to be submitted.
Okay, good, perfect. So, all right, let's bring it in, and we're gonna go. Let's build on 3. Everybody, bring it in, and then after let's build, we clap it up. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then let's build. Ready? Bring it in. All right, on 3. On three, we go, let's build. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
Do we have a bathroom?
Oh, no. I know.
Have a good day, everybody.